Imagine this. You wake up and there is no internet, no Wi-Fi, number 4G, nothing. What would you do? Hello, my friends. It's Sarah here. Welcome to another day in my life. But today, something crazy happened. When I opened my eyes this morning, my phone was silent. No notifications, no messages, no internet. At first, I thought maybe it's just my Wi-Fi. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of story and want to support the channel, just hype this video. It helps YouTube show it to more people and keeps this project growing. And there's also the super thanks button. It's like a little way of saying thank you, sending a suggestion, or even asking for a topic. But, of course, only do it if you really feel this work deserves it. For me, it's already such an honor to have you here watching. Honestly, if you just leave a like and a comment, that already helps me so much. I checked again. Nothing. I even restarted my phone. Still, nothing. Do you also feel this way sometimes? Lost without your phone? I felt anxious, almost uncomfortable. I use the internet for everything. Music, messages, maps, even to order food. And suddenly, I had to live without it. But then I smiled. I thought, maybe this is a chance to really practice English, real English. No Google Translate, no apps, no subtitles, just me, my voice, and the world. And that's the promise of today's story. We will learn simple, useful expressions you can use in daily life to order food, ask for directions, talk to people, all without internet. I got out of bed, washed my face, looked in the mirror, and said to myself, okay, Sarah, today is different. Today, you speak English with people face to face. I put on my sneakers, grabbed my bag, and stepped outside. The street was quiet, the sky was blue, and I felt both nervous and excited. Without the internet, the world felt louder. I could hear the birds, the cars, the voices of neighbors. I thought about you. Yes, you, my friend, watching this. Maybe you also feel afraid to speak. Maybe you also wait for the perfect moment to practice. But the truth is, the perfect moment is now. So let's go through this day together, step by step. I'll share the exact phrases I used, and you can repeat with me. Let's practice one sentence right now. Repeat after me. Excuse me, can you help me? Good. Again, excuse me, can you help me? This is the magic key. You can use it anywhere. In the bakery, on the bus, in the supermarket. Simple words, big power. Do you feel that confidence growing already? That's the point. One sentence, one step, one moment. And so my adventure without internet began. First stop, breakfast. Usually, I just order delivery on an app. But today, without Wi-Fi, I had to go to the bakery face to face. No menu online, no click and pay. Just me. And the cashier, what would I say? Would I freeze? Would I make a mistake? Stay with me. In the next part, we go together to the bakery and I'll show you exactly how I ordered my breakfast in English. I walked down the street and the smell of fresh bread filled the air. Usually, I scroll through my phone and order with one click. But today, no internet. My stomach was already growling. I pushed the door of the bakery open. Inside, it was warm, full of the smell of coffee and sweetbread. People were talking, laughing, waiting in line. For a moment, I felt small. What if I said something wrong? What if they didn't understand me? But then I remembered, speak simple, speak slow, speak real. I took a deep breath and stepped forward. The cashier looked at me with a smile and said, "Good morning. What can I get for you?" My heart jumped, but I answered, "Good morning. I'd like one coffee and one croissant, please." Simple? Clear? Direct? She nodded. "Sure. Anything else?" I thought for a second and said, "No, thank you. That's all." Do you see? Just like that, I ordered my breakfast. No app, no internet, only my voice. And you can do the same. Let's practice together now. Repeat after me. I'd like one coffee, please. Good. Again. I'd like one coffee, please. Now another one. I'd like one croissant, please. Perfect. If you can say this, you can survive breakfast anywhere in the world. I paid for my order. She asked for here to go. I smiled and answered, "To go, please." That's another phrase you must remember. Let's try it together. To go, please. Again, to go, please. Simple, right? The cashier handed me the coffee and the croissant in a paper bag. I thanked her. "Thank you very much." She smiled back. "You're welcome." And just like that, I survived my first challenge of the day. Walking out of the bakery with my breakfast, I felt proud. My hands were warm with the cup of coffee, and my heart was warm with confidence. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Real English, real life. And that's what you and I are learning here. Not textbook sentences, but the phrases that actually open doors in daily life. Do you ever feel nervous about these little conversations? You're not alone. Many people watching this feel the same fear. Fear of mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of freezing. But listen, every time you say one sentence, you break the block. Every time you speak, even if it's short, you win. I sat on a bench outside, took a bite of the croissant, and sipped my coffee. The world felt slower, quieter. I didn't scroll. I didn't check messages. I just looked around. People walking to work, kids with backpacks going to school, a dog pulling its owner down the street. Real life was happening right in front of me, and I was part of it. Without the internet, I noticed more, I listened more, I connected more, and I want you to remember this. Practice does not need to be complicated. Sometimes it's just one coffee, one croissant, one smile, one sentence. That's all. If you can survive breakfast in English, you can survive much more. But of course, my day didn't end there. I had another challenge waiting for me. I needed to go across town, but without internet. No Google Maps, no apps to tell me which bus to take or where to stop. Just me, a bus stop, and strangers to ask for help. What would I say? Would I understand their answers? Would I get lost? That was my next adventure. Taking the bus without online maps. And believe me, it was not easy. I left the bakery with my bag in one hand and my coffee in the other. My next mission was simple. I needed to cross the city. Normally, I would open Google Maps, check the exact bus number, the route, the arrival time. But today, no internet. I stood at the bus stop looking at the sign. It was full of numbers, arrows, and names of places. Honestly, it looked confusing. I felt a little lost. Around me, other people were waiting. Some had headphones, some were checking their phones, and I thought, okay, Sarah, this is the moment. You can't just guess. You need to ask. My heart started to race. Do you also feel nervous about asking strangers for help? That fear of not understanding the answer? Yes, I felt exactly that. I saw a woman next to me and I took a deep breath. Excuse me, can you help me? She looked at me kindly and said, sure. I asked, does this bus go to downtown? She nodded and answered, yes, but it takes about 30 minutes. I repeated to myself slowly, yes, but it takes about 30 minutes. Then I smiled and said, thank you very much. She replied, no problem. That was it. I survived the first step. Do you want to practice this with me now? Repeat after me. Does this bus go to downtown? Good. Again. Does this bus go to downtown? Another phrase. How long does it take? Perfect. If you can say these two questions, you can travel almost anywhere. The bus finally arrived, big and noisy. People started to get on, and I followed. The driver looked at me. I asked, how much is the ticket? He answered quickly, $2. I took the coins from my pocket and repeated, $2, right? He said, yes, and gave me a ticket. I thanked him and sat down on the bus. I looked out the window. Buildings, shops, and people passed by. I felt proud again. I wasn't just sitting quietly. I was speaking. I was practicing. And you can too. The truth is, transportation is one of the scariest parts for many people learning English because answers are fast, people are in a hurry, and you can't always ask them to repeat. But don't worry, even if you don't understand 100%, you can survive with 2 magic phrases. Excuse me, can you repeat, please? And can you speak slowly, please? Let's say them together. Can you repeat, please? Again, can you repeat, please? And now, can you speak slowly, please? Perfect. These are lifesavers. I stayed on the bus, a little anxious about when to get off. Without internet, there was no blue dot on the map to save me. I watched streets, the people, the shops. I thought, what if I miss my stop? That fear made me smile, because I knew you might feel the same in a new city. So I asked again. I turned to the man sitting next to me and said, excuse me, does this bus stop near the supermarket? He looked at me and said, yes, 2 more stops, 2 more stops. Easy, clear. And now I knew when to get off. When the bus stopped, I stood up, smiled, and said, thank you. He nodded and said, you're welcome. And just like that, I reached my destination. No internet, no app, no problem. Only my voice, my questions, and the kindness of strangers. Walking off the bus, I felt lighter. Each step without internet was teaching me something. First, the bakery, then the bus, and the next challenge was waiting for me right ahead. The supermarket. Normally, I keep a digital shopping list on my phone, but today I had nothing. No notes, no reminders, just my memory. And if I couldn't find something, I would have to ask again in English. Would I remember the words? Would I be able to explain what I needed? That was my next adventure, the supermarket without a digital list. I walked into the supermarket, pushing the glass door open, and the cool air hit my face. Usually, I check my phone for my digital shopping list. Today, no list, no reminders, nothing, just my memory, and maybe a little courage. I grabbed a cart and started walking down the aisles. Fruits, vegetables, bread, milk. The supermarket was full of colors and smells. I tried to remember what I needed: eggs, bread, pasta. But then I stopped. Where were the eggs? I looked around, left and right. No signs, no clue. This was the moment to practice again. I saw a worker stacking boxers, and I walked up slowly. My heart beat a little faster. I smiled and said, "Excuse me, where are the eggs?" Simple, clear. He pointed and said, "Aisle 5, near the milk." I repeated, "Aisle 5, near the milk." Then I smiled again. "Thank you very much," he answered. "You're welcome. Do you see how easy it can be? Let's practice together now. Repeat after me. Excuse me? Where are the eggs? Good. Again. Excuse me, where are the eggs? Now try another. Excuse me, where is the bread? Perfect. With this simple question, you can survive in any store. I pushed my cart to aisle 5. There they were, eggs stacked in rows. I picked one carton carefully and continued. Then I realized something funny. Without my phone, I had to rely on my eyes, my memory, and my English. And you know what? It felt good. But of course, shopping is never that simple. When I reached the pasta section, I was confused again. So many boxes, so many names. I wanted spaghetti, but the labels were all different. I saw a woman next to me picking up noodles, and I asked, "Excuse me, is this spaghetti?" She looked and said, "Yes, this is spaghetti." I repeated softly, "This is spaghetti." Then I said, "Thank you." She smiled. "No problem. Let's practice another useful phrase. Repeat after me. Is this good? Again. Is this? You can use it for anything. Is this sugar? Is this the bus stop? Is this the right way? 2 small words, big power. With my cart full eggs, bread, spaghetti, milk, I walked to the cashier. She smiled and asked, "Do you need a bag?" I answered, "Yes, please." Then she said, "That will be $10. I gave her the money and repeated, $10, right? She nodded. Yes. She packed my groceries and said, "Have a nice day." I smiled and said, "You too." Pay attention to these tiny exchanges. They seem small, but they are the real practice. Yes, please. No, thank you. That's all. Have a nice day. Repeat them with me. Yes, please. No, thank you. That's all. Have a nice day. These are the phrases that make you sound natural. These are the phrases that give you confidence. As I walked out of the supermarket, carrying the bags, I felt proud again. Proud, not because I had groceries, but because I had spoken. I had asked, I had listened, I had survived, all in English, all without internet. Do you ever feel afraid of these small conversations? Do you sometimes freeze? Even when you know the words? I know that fear. I felt it today. But the truth is, when you speak, even just one sentence, you win. You grow. You move forward. The sun was setting when I finally walked home. My arms heavy with bags, but my heart light with confidence. And I thought, maybe this day without internet wasn't a problem. Maybe it was a gift, because at the end of the day, I had something much more valuable than Wi-Fi. I had real connections, real words, real practice. And that's what I want you to feel too. My final reflection of the day was clear. The internet is useful, yes, but your voice, your courage, your daily practice, that is the real key to fluency. One sentence at a time, one small win each day. That's how confidence grows. That's how transformation happens. So tell me, my friend, what sentence would you love to say in English without fear? When I finally got home, I dropped the grocery bags on the table and sat down with a deep sigh. My body was tired, but my mind was alive. I looked around the apartment and thought about everything that had happened in just one day. No internet, no apps, no Google Translate, and yet I survived. More than that, I connected, I practiced, I spoke. At breakfast, I ordered face-to-face. On the bus, I asked for help. At the supermarket, I found what I needed with simple questions. Each little moment was a victory. And maybe you've felt this too, that small spark of confidence when you manage to say one phrase, when a stranger understands you, when you realize, hey, I can actually do this. Do you see the lesson? Fluency is not about speaking perfect English with no mistakes. Fluency is about connection. It's about courage. It's about using your voice even when you feel nervous. Every thank you, every yes, please is a step. And these steps, my friend, build the road to confidence. I thought about how many times I depend on the internet to feel safe, to search, to translate, to check. But today, without it, I discovered something powerful. The words were already inside me. Maybe not perfect, maybe not many, but enough. Enough to order coffee, enough to ask directions, enough to connect with people. And I want you to remember this. You don't need to wait for the internet to practice. You don't need a special app or a perfect teacher every time. You need your voice. You need small moments. You need to try, fail, laugh, and try again. That's real practice. That's real English. Repeat this with me now. I can speak. I can connect. I can do this. Again, louder. I can speak. I can connect. I can do this. Yes, that's the mindset. That's the confidence we are building together. At the end of the day, I realized something unexpected. The internet makes life easier, yes, but it also makes us hide. Hide behind screens, hide behind apps, hide behind translations. Without it, I was forced to step out, to speak, to connect. And that made me feel more human, more alive, more free. So here's my message to you. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for your English to be perfect. Use it now. In the bakery, on the bus, at the supermarket, with a stranger, with a friend. Speak. Every word you say builds your confidence. Every mistake you make teaches you something. And every smile you get back is proof that you are growing. Learning English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about life. It's about stories, feelings, mistakes, laughter, and connections. And today, one day without internet taught me that better than any textbook ever could. So let me ask you, what's one sentence you will try today in English? Write it down, say it out loud. Share it in the comments. I want to know. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. We are walking it together. If this story made sense to you, if it gave you even one spark of confidence, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Every little hype helps this community grow. And now, my friend, go live your own story. Speak without fear. Practice daily. Build your confidence. Because the secret is simple. Your voice opens doors. Good night, and see you in the next story.